Every child enters the world with endless possibilities. Before they know what success means, or what happiness feels like, they are simply curious. They explore. They question. They imagine. But long before they understand who they are, the world begins telling them who they should become. Study hard. Choose the safe path. Be realistic. Make parents proud. Little by little, those expectations stop sounding like advice. They start sounding like truth. And after hearing them for long enough, something remarkable happens. You stop asking what kind of life you want. You start asking what kind of life will be accepted. Most people never notice the moment that change happens, because it doesn't feel like losing your freedom. It feels like growing up. Nobody wakes up one morning and decides to live someone else's life. It happens quietly. A compliment for getting good grades. Praise for choosing the safe career. Approval for making sensible decisions. Disappointment whenever you step outside the expected path. Little by little, you learn something powerful. Being accepted often matters more than being authentic. So you begin collecting expectations. From parents, teachers, friends, society. Eventually, those voices become so familiar. They begin to sound like your own. You stop asking what feels meaningful. You start asking what will be approved. The prison doesn't need locked doors. It only needs invisible rules. Imagine a bird born inside a cage. It has food, water, shelter, everything it needs to survive. The bird grows up believing the cage is the entire world. One morning, the door is left open. Nothing changes. The bird stays exactly where it has always been. Not because it cannot fly. Because it has never imagined a life beyond the bars. Day after day, the door remains open. Sometimes the bird looks outside. It wonders what the sky feels like. What the wind sounds like. Then it turns back. The cage is familiar. Predictable. Safe. Years pass. One afternoon, another bird lands outside. It isn't stronger or smarter. It simply asks a question. Why don't you leave? The bird inside has no answer. Only reasons. What if I can't survive? What if I regret it? What if I fail? The visitor listens patiently. Then says something unexpected. You've spent your whole life preparing for a world you've never entered. Silence fills the cage. For the first time, the bird notices something. The door was never locked. Only its imagination was. Many of us live the same way. We inherit dreams that were never ours. Follow paths we never chose. Protect identities we never questioned. Not because someone forces us to. Because belonging feels safer than becoming. The most difficult chains to break are the ones we've stopped noticing. Expectations are not inherently wrong. Some guide us. Some protect us. Some come from people who genuinely love us. The problem begins when borrowed expectations replace personal truth. When approval becomes more important than fulfillment. When fear of disappointing others becomes stronger than the desire to discover yourself. Freedom is often misunderstood. It is not the absence of responsibility. It is the willingness to take responsibility for a life that truly belongs to you. That choice is uncomfortable. Because the moment you stop living according to someone else's script, you also stop receiving their certainty. From that point on, The direction becomes yours to choose. If this video has made you uncomfortable, don't ignore that feeling. Sometimes discomfort is not a warning. Sometimes it is recognition. Recognition that a part of you has been waiting to speak for a very long time. You don't have to reject every expectation placed upon you. You don't have to abandon the people who care about you. But sooner or later, you must ask a question that no one else can answer. If no one were watching, what kind of life would I choose? The answer may not arrive today. It may take months, even years. But every honest answer begins the same way. The moment you stop asking, "What do they expect from me?" and start asking, "What kind of person do I want to become?" that question changes everything.